Are you thinking about moving to St. Louis, Missouri? If so, here's 5 helpful tips you're going to want to think about while making that decision. And make sure you stick around to the end for a fun fact that you're probably not aware of if you don't live in St. Louis. Hey everyone, this is Jacob Peischert back with another video about St. Louis, Missouri. If this is your first time to the channel, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. So if you're thinking about moving to St. Louis, Missouri, here are 5 helpful tips you want to consider while you're making that decision. First up, St. Louis is not a very big city. The city itself is actually pretty small. In St. Louis City, there's only around 300,000 people that live there. Now, if you look at the whole St. Louis metro area, then that number is around 2.8 million people. We are currently ranked as number 20th in the country in terms of largest metro areas. If you're looking for a comparison, we're pretty similar in size to the Denver metro area and the Baltimore metro area. Now, 2.8 million people in the greater St. Louis area is a pretty big number, but we are not a huge city like LA, New York, or Chicago. So if you prefer living in one of those huge cities, St. Louis is probably not the best choice for you. In fact, even though there's almost 3 million people living here, St. Louis actually feels pretty small in a lot of ways. Sometimes it just kind of feels like a very big, small town. One of the things you'll notice about St. Louis if you move here is that everybody you meet will ask you, where'd you go to high school? Not college, not undergrad, not grad school, it's always high school. Where'd you go to high school? I think that's just sort of a way for St. Louisans to place you as far as where you went to school, where you grew up, and what part of town you're from. I think you should still answer the question even if you didn't go to school here in St. Louis, just to watch people's reactions when you give your answer. They'll try to start guessing what area that's in if they're not familiar with that school, and then you have to be like, no, not even close, not even in the state of Missouri. Now, I personally did go to high school in St. Louis, but I know people who didn't go to school here, and it's always funny to me to watch that conversation happen when the topic comes up of where did you go to high school? Now, second thing to know if you're thinking about moving to St. Louis is that St. Louis is a pretty big sports town. I personally am not the biggest sports fan, I just don't really follow it, but if you live here, you will hear about it and people will talk to you about sports. People are very proud of the Cardinals for baseball and the Blues for hockey. We used to have the St. Louis Rams, but they got moved to LA, and honestly, that happened around the same time that I was moving to St. Louis, so I didn't really hear that much about it. I was born in St. Louis, but I moved away when I was a kid and then moved back here to St. Louis, and then right around then was when the Rams were getting moved to LA, so honestly, I didn't really hear about it, I didn't really follow it, I'm not really sure what happened, because it's just not my thing. So yeah, St. Louis is a pretty big sports town. People love talking about sports here. We are getting a soccer team, I think in 2022, they're building a stadium for it. Again, I'm not really sure of the details because I just don't really follow sports. If you follow college sports, we have Mizzou, University of Missouri, Columbia. That's the big flagship state school that we have, which is in Columbia, Missouri, around an hour and a half to 2 hours away from St. Louis. So again, if you follow sports at all, lots of stuff happening in Columbia as well. Third very important thing to know if you move to St. Louis is the distinction between St. Louis City and St. Louis County. Now, as you might guess from the names, St. Louis City is the city of St. Louis. St. Louis County is the suburbs. If you ever read any articles or headlines about what's happening here in St. Louis, make sure you know, is it the city or is it the county? If you read anything about St. Louis, chances are it's probably talking about St. Louis City, not St. Louis County. The city's also pretty small, actually. St. Louis City has around 300,000 people that live there. Meanwhile, St. Louis County has around 1 million people. So St. Louis City and St. Louis County are very different. They have different school systems, different neighborhoods, and overall a very different feel to them. So if you're thinking about moving to St. Louis, make sure you think about, do you want to live in St. Louis City or somewhere in St. Louis County? The county is really big, very diverse, lots of options when you move to St. Louis County. And the same thing goes for moving to St. Louis City. And if you're moving to the county, you might also hear people talk about North County, West County, South County, and Mid County, also known as Central County. And again, St. Louis County is pretty big, so that's just a way of further describing what area you're talking about when you talk about St. Louis County, the north, west, south, or the middle. And the fourth thing to think about when moving to St. Louis is that St. Louis is actually pretty central compared to other cities around us. If you're moving from somewhere out of state and you want to be able to travel to other cities in other states, you can actually do that pretty easily from St. Louis. There's a lot of other big cities that are only a couple hours away from St. Louis, like Chicago, Indianapolis, Louisville, Kentucky, Nashville, Memphis, Kansas City, and Omaha. I actually just got back from Omaha. I was there for a couple days in October visiting for a real estate conference. It's actually not that bad of a drive at all. It took me like 6 hours in total, and Kansas City is right smack in the middle if you want to stop for lunch on your way to Omaha. You kind of drive at a 90-degree angle to get there. You drive across Missouri for around 3 hours, get to Kansas City, and then drive up to Omaha for another 3 hours. And lastly, just a fun little fact about St. Louis that you're probably not going to know unless you've been here or you're from here. If you like to go to Panera Bread, the place you get lunch, you're not going to find any Panera cafes here in St. Louis, and that is because they go by a different name here. The company was actually founded in St. Louis as St. Louis Bread Company. Because of that, every Panera here in St. Louis is actually called St. Louis Bread Company, or as local St. Louisans call it, Breadco. Hey man, what's going on? You want to get lunch today? Absolutely, lunch sounds great. Where do you want to go? Awesome, how about Breadco? Breadco sounds great, let's do it. Now you can still order the same stuff to eat. Their menu is the same as anywhere else in the country, but you're not going to see Panera written anywhere. It's going to be St. Louis Breadco. And this isn't even the whole state of Missouri, it's really just St. Louis, where you see it called St. Louis Bread Company. Anywhere else in Missouri, it's going to be Panera. So there you have it, 5 things to think about if you're moving to St. Louis. If you have any questions or comments about what I said, please make sure to leave a comment for me down below. I always love to hear your questions for future video ideas. If you ever want to reach out or there's anything I can do for you, my number is also down below. Feel free to text me or call me. I'm always talking to people moving to, from, and around St. Louis, and I love it. So if you've made it this far, please make sure to give the video a big thumbs up down below. That really helps out. And subscribe to the channel as well down below so that you know next time I post a brand new video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.